This is Hannibal here, and we have a non-wrestling interview today, a returning guest, famous social media personality, YouTuber, TikToker. I know she's famous on Twitter. Whatever, Amy, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great, other than the cold weather coming here in Canada. How is it in New Jersey today?
It's sunny here, but it's definitely starting to get cooler. So like in the morning you wake up, it's like 30s and it gets like 60s in the afternoon. So
Well, that's not too bad.
probably not for Canada.
So, how's your platforms going for fans that aren't familiar with you? Do you want to tell them a little bit about what you do?
Sure. So, I've been on Twitter, well, now X, for almost 10 years now. And that's really kind of what I'm known for. And, I have 200,000 followers there. And, I've kind of branched out into YouTube and OnlyFans. I'm kind of Instagram, kind of all over the place in terms of social media. And it's really just kind of an extension of my life. And if you've seen my tweets and things like that, kind of my sarcasm and my jokes and everything else kind of branched out as a result of being on X all these years and people being curious about my life. So I have a good time doing it.
As far as X goes, it's not really that popular in Canada. I know it's huge in the US. What are the big differences you've noticed since Elon has taken over and it's been rebranded X?
Yeah. So the algorithm, I really, would gain followers every day on a rapid basis. And I've been at the same follower count probably in for the past 18 months since he took over. I really don't see any new followers. So I may get new followers, but I drop followers at the same time. And people are telling me all the time, they're like, I never see your stuff anymore. You never come up on my timeline. So I mean, that's a huge change. I don't know where, I fell into the algorithm, but people don't see my stuff. It's just unless you're looking for me lately, people aren't seeing my stuff. I always tell everyone to kind of turn on my notifications so when I, am putting something out there. But that's been the weirdest. And I see it from a lot of people that I'm friendly with, and they're saying the same thing. Their engagement is very low. People are always saying that they don't see their stuff. They have to go looking for it. So shadow banning and just kind of losing that engagement seems to be the biggest change that I've seen.
I hear from both Facebook and Twitter, like they won't promote or they'll kind of shadow ban like YouTube links and stuff now.
I don't
Because
really add links on my stuff. I wasn't, if I put a new video out or something, then yeah, I would say, hey, go and check this out. But for the most part, I don't really advertise a lot of my other stuff unless people ask me. Every once in a while, I'll promote something. But for the most part, I try and keep links, or you just kind of make it very vague. People will be like, oh, check out my spicy, platform, or check out, that other channel, just to keep it really vague, just in case that is part of the problem. I mean, I know you don't want to they're not trying to advertise other platforms, but they might lose people that way too.
yeah, I know I recently got to like 391,000 subscribers, and I put a screenshot of it on Facebook and thanked the fans, and they flagged it as spam, false advertising. It's like I wasn't even advertising anything. I
Oh
was just
no.
thanking.
And where was that platform you were not advertising, but
It was I was just promoting that I had reached a new milestone in YouTube subscribers on Facebook.
oh
And-
wow.
yeah.
Oh wow. That's amazing. 300,000, that's amazing.
Yeah, hopefully 400,000 soon. Jake is asking what your OnlyFans is.
So it's the same as my X handle. So it's W
Oh,
underscore AMY.
whatever underscore Amy. Perfect. And what you do on OnlyFans, do you take a lot of the fans' suggestions? Because I know for YouTube and stuff, you're modeling a lot of clothes and so forth.
Yeah, I mean, I really do. I answer all my own messages on all of my platforms. And I really like engaging with my followers and having, I mean, we have all sorts of conversations, everything from, sexual side of things to, sports and recipes and, and people will say, hey, I'd love to see more of this, or have you ever done something like this? And I love to hear what turns people on or what interests them on any platform. And I've learned so much over the years. I really find it very interesting to see kind of what makes people tick. And, some of the things over the years, like people like some really wild stuff, and other people are just curious about me personally and, what I like, or, I'm 47, so I've kind of been around a long time, and how my life has kind of turned out how it is. So I have some really interesting followers and some of their questions, and I do kind of a Q&A every so often, and people will send questions in and ask different things about my opinion or about my life, and that all started on Twitter.
What did you do before you got into becoming like a professional in social media?
I'm still in my same career. I just kind of blew up on Twitter, just kind of commenting on my commute to the city and my sarcastic and just my observations of everyday life and things that would happen to me and my friends. And I just have a good time with it. I'm still, everyone's always like, why are you still like working for real? And I'm like, everything can end any day. So I just kind of keep everything very even keeled and go about my life.
Yeah, I keep my real job too, and I also find it keeps me grounded. Not that I'm a huge popular person or anything, but it's like it's nice to keep a real job, and you never know when you could get shut down for absolutely no reason, as you said.
Exactly. That's what happened to my Instagram. I had 330,000 followers on my Instagram and it got deleted. So I'm slowly rebuilding that, but that was a big bummer.
Now, does Twitter pay anything? Because I keep hearing that they've started to pay now, or do you have to pay them to get involved?
I am
In,
monetized, but let me tell you, I have 200 and something thousand followers, and I think I got paid $50 last time. So for me, it's not really anything. Some people are making thousands of dollars. I'm not one of them on Twitter. But props to whoever is. Monetization is definitely not a huge thing for me there.
and you're talking about your commute into the city. Is that still something you do regularly from New Jersey to New York City?
Not regularly, no. Before the pandemic, it was every day for decades, and now I go in, very rarely. But every time I do, I'm sure I see somebody disgusting that I can, or something horrifying that I can comment on.
Yeah, could you give us an example of what one of those commutes would have been
Oh
like?
gosh, I mean, everything from people offering to share their Twizzlers that they've just bit into with me, um, homeless people asking me out, homeless people giving each other a blowjob and locking eyes with me as I'm walking out of the subway, from clipping their toenails on the bus. Uh, People are very, very, I guess they make it a habit and they feel very comfortable with their daily routine, and they don't care that other people will find their actions to be not really nice.
Did you ever feel like you were in danger on the subway there at all?
No, no. I mean, I rode the subway, I took the bus, I took the train. I've never had a moment where I felt unsafe or, you know, kind of out of sorts. I was on a subway once that hit someone, so that was kind of not really a great day, but the
How
hustle
did
and
they
bustle.
survive or what?
No,
No. Oh boy.
it was a sad day, but that's kind of life in New York. And unfortunately, I think we get so used to these terrible things that happen and hearing about all these crimes and I think that we kind of forget that these are human beings, and we're just so used to hearing like, oh, another day, another accident, another whatever, um and because it happens so often, so it's sad.
Yeah, I guess especially in your area. How is crime where you are in New Jersey? Is it fairly good? Because in Canada, you always hear about crime being horrible in the New
Um,
York, New Jersey area.
I live kind of in the suburbs, so you have your kind of run of the mill carjackings and, car thefts are very big in this area. There's trying to steal catalytic converters and they're breaking into homes to find car keys and steal cars out of the driveway. That's very big in my area. Obviously, if you're in the cities and more populated areas, you have shootings and, crime. But I feel like it just depends on where you live.
Are you a sports fan at all? I know we watch football here and there.
Yes. I don't really follow too many professional sports anymore. I'm bigger into college football. I'll watch the World Series. I grew up a Jets fan, so I'll catch a game here and there. But college football is really the only thing that I follow anymore.
I was just at the Jets versus Buffalo game a few weeks
Oh,
ago, and it was
yeah.
yeah, and I'd never been to an NFL game before, and I didn't realize how crazy the tailgating was.
Did you have fun? What did you think?
It's way different than CFL. Way different. Unfortunately, the Jets lost.
Well, unfortunately, that's how it goes for them.
Yeah,
Not easy
but
being bad.
I thought everyone was very friendly though, like
Good.
giving food and drinks and stuff. Like,
Yeah, I was at the Navy Notre Dame game this weekend, and as with most tailgates, I feel like you could go to the tailgate of any game and walk around and just strike up a conversation with someone, and you're always going to get someone to offer you a drink, food. I mean, you could go there with nothing and have a full belly and not be thirsty by the time you leave because tailgaters are very willing to share. And it's always a good time.
yeah, and they take football so seriously there. It's insane.
Yeah, I think they forget sometimes they're not on the team.
Have you ever actually tailgated yourself as far as going there and cooking stuff?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. A
What
zillion.
type of stuff would you do?
I'm pretty easy. This last time we tailgated for Navy Notre Dame, that game started at noon. So we did breakfast stuff, breakfast sandwiches, usually, or it's hamburgers, hot dogs. I mean, I keep it pretty simple. We'll do sausage and peppers, some steaks, it just depends.
Do you watch MMA at all? Because we do some MMA interviews on this channel.
I don't. I mean, I have watched it, but I probably couldn't name anybody in it.
Ask Conor McGregor, probably.
I do like his whiskey.
Oh yeah, I've never tried it. What's your review of Conor McGregor's whiskey?
I liked it. I know, sometimes people give it a bad rap, but I thought it was very smooth and I enjoyed it. Proper 12.
Did you happen to see him in the remake of Roadhouse?
I did not. I I think I've only seen the original once. So I really wasn't drawn to watching the remake. I'm always surprised when we remake a movie exactly the same as how it was. Like, why did we redo Footloose exactly the same? Like, why are we redoing movies exactly the same as the original and songs too? So at least if you're going to do a cover or something, put your own twist on it. So I don't know. How was he?
He was a good character in it, and they actually did remake it a lot different.
Good.
It was a pretty good movie, I would say. I was
All right, I'll check
pleasantly surprised.
because you said so. I'll check it out.
But for Footloose, I was a fan of the first one, and I couldn't bring myself to watch the second one.
Yeah. So and I'm so old that I watched Footloose on Laserdisc.
Oh wow!
VCRs weren't even around yet.
Do you miss video stores at all, or do you like the new system that people do?
I have very fond memories of, going to the video store with my family and, renting a movie for that weekend. And you'd always see the adult section, like behind a beaded curtain, or, you know what I mean? You weren't allowed to go back there where they had all the X-rated stuff. But that was such a fun time. And that was a big thing for our family, renting movies and stuff. But I find it very convenient now that I can just push a button and watch whatever now. So I think I prefer now.
Yes, that section where when you were kids, like as a guy, we would dare each other to try and like
We're
go
loud,
in.
but you checked it out.
We're coming up on Halloween. Do you have any big Halloween costumes planned or any series of Halloween costumes planned
I
for your followers?
don't. I really get a lot of everyone wants me to be the mom from The Incredibles. So I might consider doing that. We'll see. But other than that, I really don't do much for Halloween anymore.
Do you have a favorite horror movie or horror movies from either your childhood or more recent?
Am not. I mean, I used to watch a lot of Stephen King because I read his books a lot growing up. Horror movies, I'm not. I'd rather gore than being startled, so I don't want something to jump out at me. I don't want to go in a haunted house. So I'm not really a huge horror movie person, but if I had to pick, I would pick something more on the gory side than like the suspense and something's going to happen kind of thing.
What would be your favorite movie overall
Oh
in
gosh.
any genre?
I would say my top movies, obviously Top Gun, Gone with the Wind, A Few Good Men, Godfather, Goodfellas, all the mafia movies, of course, being a half Italian in New Jersey. Um, what else?
I just rewatched Goodfellas on the plane home from Hawaii the other day, and it made the flight go by a lot faster.
Always watch it when it's on.
Here's a picture of you at a convention. Who is it? Who's your friend here? Just to show the fans some of your pictures.
Sure, that's Zia, Zia Land. So ZIA_LAND. She's a really good friend of mine. She's also a content creator. She's big on Twitch and YouTube. She's super fun, very sweet girl, and we're close friends. She used to live down the road from me, so we always hung out a lot.
And there's one of your typical outfits that you like to model.
Yep, can't hide those.
I guess not. Oh God! Someone says, "Can you jump up and down?" We'll try and be polite on this one. But if you
video that on my Instagram, actually, if you look, there's definitely a slow-mo video on there.
oh, is there? And that is at whatever_Amy. They can follow you on there. Well, very good. I appreciate you checking in. There's another interview with whatever Amy on this channel if people want to see more.
Thanks so much.
And how is this wrestling related? Where we branch into all different subjects. Jack Chester Sunburn, and there were some fans asking for her back on, so we try and please the fans. And she's a very nice person. Always a pleasure talking to her. So I'll let you close this off with letting the fans know where they can follow you.
Thanks so much. Yeah, definitely reach out to me. I answer all my messages. So it's easiest to find me either on Instagram at whatever_AMY or on X, which is WHATEVAH_AMY. And I can direct you anywhere else, but definitely say hi.